open house day, and as you can see behind me, my room is a hot mess. I'm feeling much better today. Today is the first day that I felt better, even though I had maybe 3 hours of sleep. I stayed up last night making labels, and I'm printing things for like the word wall and my bulletin board. Not my bulletin board. Clearly, I'm sleepy. My whiteboard. I kept dozing off in and out, like sitting at my computer at home. So I only got like 3 hours of sleep, but it's open house day and I need to get on it. It is later than I thought. It is now 10:37. Open house starts at 4:30. So I do have a lot of time to work on my room today, and I'm super excited about that. I'm getting ready to cut out everything that I just laminated. I was able to finally use the poster machine. I did find my USB the other day, but when I went to go print, it was out of paper. I couldn't figure out how to put the paper that was still on the roll back into the machine, so I just left it. I figured it just wasn't enough paper for the machine to detect that it was paper there. So it was paper on there today, so I did that. The laminator was working, so I laminated everything, and now it's just to get things done. So I left off yesterday going through this library, and noticed that most of the books that were left behind are like short story books, the boring books. Oh no, they both fell. So I'm gonna have to hot glue that. Did I unplug the hot glue gun yesterday? I left the hot glue gun plugged in yesterday. My classroom was not burnt down in the process. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's not even that hot. So good thing it's temperature regulated. So yeah, I'm gonna have to hot glue that so that that can stay up. My Teach and Inspire, I put up with push pins, so that's gonna be fine. I might just have to use push pins over there to make sure that that stays up, because those command strips don't hold any weight whatsoever. But yeah, so like I was saying about the books, I was going through them, and they're not really novels that are the level, like all of those books inside those bins are like little skinny boring books that I'm shocked the kids want to read, which is probably why their reading levels aren't as high. So for those, I'm just going to keep them the way that they are, but I'm going to put them in those white bins. I made little labels with the letters on them for the book labels, for the book levels, just so that it looks a little bit better. And then I'm just going to keep going through those books though and take out any of the novels, and then put all of the novels together according to their reading levels. That way it's somewhat organized. I would prefer fourth graders to start reading novels because they need to practice marathon reading. And if they keep reading these short little books, that is a great reason why they're not doing well on the end of grade testing, because the short book is shorter than the reading passages on the end of grade testing. So they're not building up that stamina, which doesn't help them in the long haul, since they have to read 4 or 5 passages in just 3 hours and answer questions, like 55 questions. So yeah, so that's what I'm about to do after I cut out the stuff that I just laminated and situate that. So excited, I get to meet my kids today. Open house is over, and I felt like a total, I don't even know, like Like, I don't know what just happened. It just went so fast. I didn't have time to do everything that I wanted to do. And parents were just like in and out, which I'm okay with. I didn't have time to create my Meet the Teacher. I didn't have time to do my flip book to hand out to parents. So I will send that stuff home on Monday. Not a big deal. Like most of the parents were just wanting to meet me and leave anyway. So it worked out for them. But I can't believe that it's already Thursday evening. I met all but one of my students. She's in Florida, so her dad just came by himself. So I had a 100% turnout rate, which is awesome. Didn't get everybody's signature though, so that's the only thing. But everyone showed up, which is awesome to know that I have that support from parents. And I'm looking forward to this year. Such a variety of students. They are so small, and then you have some who are super big, and it's like you're gonna be like 2 feet taller than the rest of your classmates, which was me growing up. So super excited about that. This vlog clearly is not gonna be what I intended it to be, just because, like I said, I ran out of time today messing with those books. But for now, the books are done. I'll show you what they look like. I just sectioned them off based on how they were leveled. So all the letters are to one side, and then all of the like AR and Lexile, which are my books, are on the other side. And then I have like the tall bookcase is filled with book clubs and partner books, so like books that I have multiples of that I think the students will want to read with someone else. So that's what the whole tall bookshelf is. So the bookcase is done. I used all 4 bookcases and still had to put books on top of the 2 short ones, because that's how many books I have, and I didn't get rid of but like 4 which were super old that I wouldn't even want to touch because the pages are that brown. So that was done. I didn't put up the stuff on my word wall. I didn't get my whiteboard section off like I wanted to. I didn't have signs to put out for school supplies, but it worked out. I just had one of my first students start to sort the things, start to sort the supplies in the crates. So he did that for me. He did a great job at doing that. And then everybody just followed suit after him. Only a few students did bring in supplies, and to be honest, coming from where I am, I wasn't even expecting that. But this is my first time teaching a core subject in elementary school, so I really didn't know what to truly expect. And I really don't need supplies, to be honest. I was like, no more loose leaf paper. I don't have any space for it, no more. And then they also have binders, which I'm just like, are we really gonna use the binder? I know in 3rd grade was when we would start using binders when I was growing up, but we actually used them. So it's like once we started using binders, we no longer use the composition notebooks. We no longer use the single subject notebooks. It was like everything was in your binder. Whereas here, we're still asking for composition notebooks and single subject notebooks. So it's kind of like, why are we also asking for a binder? And elementary school, I feel like they should have it separate for, because our school is K-8, they should have it separate for the middle school kids, and one separate for a supply list separate for elementary, because they don't need a binder. They just get in the way, they fall apart, they break, papers are everywhere. I prefer them having 5 notebooks than have the binder. So I'm going to show you the mess behind my desk because, like I said, ran out of time today and I just had to push stuff where it had to fit. So this is the space under my desk because, you know, I had boxes that needed to go places and I had things that weren't put up. So that's where they ended up. And I even put stuff on top of the cubbies because where was I going to put it? Like that Chewy box is filled with recyclable items. So it's trash. And that's what I did with it. So yes, I'm happy that I didn't actually assign desks because I had some students who was like, oh, I don't want to sit with such and such. And I'm like, drama already. We're already dealing with drama. And the school year hasn't even started. But I am going to do that now. Tomorrow, not like now, but like do that as one of the next things I do. Tomorrow I want to focus on lesson plans. Unfortunately, I'm still not done setting up my room. So who knows what's going to happen with that. But I am super happy with the way that my library turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that, since I said I will show that to you, because otherwise I will. So disregard the two-tone carpets because they don't match. But yeah, so you can see how I sorted the books. So all the bins are the lettered level books that they already had here, and then this whole bookcase are the books that belong to the school, with the exception of these books up top after the white bin. So the books up top after the white bin are mine, and then all of these are mine that I brought to the school that are level according to AR and Lexal, because that's what I used to use with my old kids that I had before. And then here is the book club or partner reading books that I have multiples of that I thought kids would want. And then at the very bottom is where I have all of the dictionaries that fit. In this crate are books that are not leveled, that haven't been leveled by myself, or books that were here and that were not leveled, that need to be leveled. So eventually all of these books will be mixed up, like combined. I've already stamped my books, plus my books have the circles on the spine of the books. Well, not all of my books, but most of my books have the circle on the spine, so I know which ones are mine, because some of my books are duplicated in the books that belong to the school, which is good that we have some of the same books. But I will combine these two and just have them all going based on lower level up to the higher level over here. And then there are some books in this reading group and our book club and book partners that weren't level yet, that I need to level as well. So yeah, so that's how that turned out, and that took forever. Plus I started off so great this morning. I felt so great. I was super energized, probably because I had no sleep, and then my body crashed and I got into so much pain. So I was recently diagnosed with endometriosis, and right before that diagnosis I noticed a huge shift in my body's response to certain situations. Me trying to not say too much on this. If you follow my other channel, then you would know, and that's Life According to Tish, what I'm talking about. I'm trying to keep things separate, but I feel like as a teacher we deal with things and we still have to put on a brave face and a smile and continue to teach. So there are certain things that I will still share, but it had me in so much pain that I just had to take a break. And I intended on taking a 5-minute break, but I was about to lay down on those 2 rugs in our reading area and take a nap because I was in that much pain today. So that kind of derailed me, and I was just so bummed because I had started off so good and just such great spirits, and then it was like, no, you're doing too much. So I said, I'm gonna take a break. My body isn't getting the rest that it needs to get, especially during this time of the month. In addition to the fact that I'm working my bottom off. So I just took that break and I just said, whatever gets done today gets done. Whatever doesn't get done will get done later. Like, I have until June 9th or whatever the day is to get it done. So no rush, no bother, no biggie. Decorating a room is great. All of the parents love the decorations, but at the end of the day, that is not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach. So if the room doesn't get finished being decorated the way that I want it, then that's fine. As long as I have an environment that's welcoming and happy and homey for my kids to be comfortable and confident and want to learn, then I've done my job right. So I'm super excited with the way that the room looks, how it turned out, and we're gonna move on. So I'm just gonna say a few more things before I close out this video, just because clearly it's time to go home. I'm tired. But here are some of the plans that I still have for the room, and I say some because I know I'm gonna leave things off. So I have an Instagram wall that I've been mentioning. It is a makeshift bulletin board like this one here. that I wanted to put up. But you know that I also printed out, I don't even know where it is. Where is it? Oh. So I also printed out, y'all, I just felt it. Like, I just crashed. Like, I literally just dropped the highlighter. But, like, I just felt my body crash. It's like as soon as I took my last step to come over here, my body was like, stop. You've done enough. So I printed out the letters from that set, the navy, pink, and aqua schedule set from Teachers Pay Teacher, to do a word wall. I really want to do a word wall. I really want it to be a functional word wall because I failed at this tremendously in the past. But I need a place for that. I also want to do anchor charts and at least I don't really do mine as I'm teaching because that will just take up too much time. I'm a perfectionist, so trying to do anchor charts while I'm teaching just doesn't work. But I will do them like when I'm planning out my lessons. And I want a place to display them during that unit or that lesson, however long it's gonna last. So that's where I'm getting to with it. So I don't have that much blank wall space. And although I really love my B faux bulletin board, I need a place for my anchor charts. And this is the perfect place to have my anchor charts. And then this wall would be the perfect place to have my word wall. I considered doing the word wall on the cubbies, but then I was like, well, the kids are going to be using the doors and things are going to fall off, so I would rather it not be something where the kids are going to move around and touch and use. So I'm thinking that this wall would be the best wall for that. With that said, that means that I don't have a place to put up my Instagram wall, and I don't have a place to put up that B bulletin board because I would prefer it to have stuff for teaching rather than stuff for decorating. I do love my Instagram wall because it's captured pictures of my students for 3 of the past 4 years. I didn't do it every year that I've taught. So I do love being able to look back and see them, and then my new students to see like some of the kids I used to teach. I have no clue where I left off. A parent came in to talk to me. She didn't come in earlier. Her mom did. So she just wanted to come in and get some clarification, and we talked for a little bit. So that was really nice. I'm really excited about who I have this year. I'm excited that it's only 15. The parents are super supportive, so I'm super excited about that. I have a brother of 2 students that I've had previously. I have a student of a grandmother that I worked with, so I actually knew her when she was like 3-4 years old from church. She was in my Vacation Bible School group. Her grandmother worked with me in Vacation Bible School. So I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. So that's super excited, just seeing these faces. I have 2 sets of twins, boy-girl twins. So that's like super exciting. And I just can't wait. Now I gotta get my lessons because I've been focused on getting a room together. I have no lesson plans for next week, none. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to hurry up and get that what to do on the first day of school video out that I recorded last month in July before I had braids. Still haven't edited that, so I haven't put that up. So I need to make sure I get that up because it's super helpful. And I need to figure out what I'm teaching. So tomorrow I'm going to focus on lesson planning, especially for social studies, because it's been 4 years since I've taught social studies, and that was in 6th grade. So that's totally different content from what I'm teaching this year. But I did find the materials that I need to do that. So thankfully I opened up that box. I'm still missing some stuff. I'm missing a whole box that had my cleaning supplies in it. Don't know where that box is, but it might be in Mike's car, or it wasn't with my stuff when I went to the school to get my things, because I cleaned up everything, and when I had gotten there, my stuff was moved. It wasn't where I left it, so I'm not sure where that is. I wonder if that's where my glue gun is. My hot glue gun probably is in there, because most of that cleaning stuff was in my desk. My hot glue gun was in my desk, so I could see myself just throwing it in there, because it was like, where else am I going to put it? Because I I've gone through every box, every crate that I have had, and it's not in there. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, I believe, unless you see me tomorrow. But yeah, so Meet the Teacher, done. Was it a success? Yes, because it's done. Was it how I planned? Of course not. But as a teacher, you have to be flexible. You have to go with the flow, and it will all work out. I got to meet every single one of my parents, or a representation of parents, whether grandparent or whatever, and that was pretty awesome. And now to move on to actually teaching, finishing my room too. Bye.